And what's up, guys? This is the Thinking Gamer here, hitting you up with another video. This is another video walkthrough brought to you by For the Wins at ftwins.com. I'll be showing you guys how to do mission number 9, the dig on Brutal. Not that hard of a mission, really. I went ahead and I skipped the beginning intro part of this where you walk your tanks through because I honestly don't think you guys are going to have any kind of issue with that, and I do like to try to keep these videos as short as possible. So, well, anyways, I'm going to be starting here at the base, and of course, I'm going to go ahead and split my siege tanks up, one on each side, because you do get attacked from both sides there. And then go ahead and put all the rest of my infantry on a hotkey so I can quickly access them and kind of move them around here at the beginning. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start pumping out siege tanks as soon as possible, and try to keep siege tanks going throughout the entire match. Try to just keep producing siege tanks and try to get an equal amount on each side. If you see one side getting attacked more than the other, go ahead and throw a little extra few tanks on that side. And all the while you want to keep producing SCVs, get your economy up to full maximum production and all that good jazz. Alright, a little trick that you can do with these siege tanks, and really pretty much any unit, is you can use shift commands to kind of order them. So instead of having to wait till they get over to their point and then siege up, you can hold shift, right click the point you want the tank to go to, and while continuing to hold shift, go ahead and hit siege. And as you can see, that tank is going to go over there and he's going to siege up, and I didn't really have to do anything as far as watching him do that. He just went ahead and did that. So just use shift to kind of queue up your commands. It kind of makes it easy. And having this small little infantry force here on hand, I can kind of react to forces on each side until I get my super secret strategy going here on how to defend these 2 points. And you guys are going to like this. I think you will. It makes it a whole lot easier. But anyways, you want to keep pumping out units, keep pumping out those siege tanks, those wonderful, wonderful Terran mechanized things that everybody just loves, unless of course you're receiving the opposite end of those things. But no, honestly, just keep pumping out those siege tanks. They're really the key to this mission. The more siege tanks you got, the easier it's going to be. Keep pumping out those freaking SCVs. Get your supply count up to 24. That's the optimal number. You want 3 SCVs per mineral patch. 8 times 3, 24. Simple math. Did it for you, so you didn't have to think. Alright, because that's what I do. I think. I'm the thinking gamer. But anyways, you're going to periodically get attacked here from both sides, and eventually I'm going to get control of this laser. And this laser I'm going to want a hotkey as well. It doesn't matter what hotkey you throw it on, just throw it on a hotkey or a control group. I threw it in 3 so that you can quickly access that, because it's really going to be key to winning a couple of these battles. So continue pumping out infantry units here, continue pumping out tanks, and just generally build up your economy here. Eventually I'm going to want to build an armory so that I can go ahead and upgrade all my mech units as well as my infantry units. Something to note, if you're not sure what researches to pick and whatnot, I do have a video on that. Go and watch that video. It'll let you know what I think about the researches. Of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and some people will disagree with me. That's fine. That's cool. This is just how I enjoy playing the game, and this is how I'm going to beat the game. So I'm going to use those technologies that I recommend there. And you guys will see, this is pretty easy. So if you get attacked like this, just bring all your infantry guys over and use your stim packs if you got them, because they really do help out. And just kind of defend here. Now here's the secret, alright? I'm going to go ahead and build a command center up here. And you may be wondering, what the hell is he building a command center there for? He's not going to be able to mine anything. And I'm going to go ahead and build another command center over here. Now the cool thing about these command centers is you can research something called planetary fortress. And this planetary fortress, man, it makes it so much easier. It basically turns your command center into this like giant battle fortress that has so much more health and armor and can do damage. And it can be repaired by 3 or 4 SCVs pretty easily. So once you get the money to do that, go ahead, pop down some planetary fortresses. And people have always asked me, hey man, why do you purchase those planetary fortresses, you know, over the Peridian turrets? You know, the Peridian turrets seem pretty cool. You know, they got the flames and stuff. Yeah, well, those Peridian turrets can't take damage like this thing can. This thing can really hold a spot against a whole lot of enemy with just a few SCVs actually repairing it. And then when you put siege tanks behind it, man, it becomes such an awesome little thing here. Now, as you know, I did put my Draken laser drill on control group 3, and I'm just going to randomly tell it, not randomly, but specifically tell it to attack specific units. What you're going to want to target with these things is mainly the Immortals. The Immortals are kind of immune to your tank's fire until they lose their shields. So go ahead and try to take down those Immortals as soon as possible. Everything else, maybe the Archons, Templar, you might want to focus fire them down if you have the time. But really the Immortals are what you're going to want to attack. And I know the mission says, hey, Archons, great. If you want to shoot down some Archons, go for it. But the more time you spend on attacking those units, the less time the more time the game's going to take, because it's going to take you longer to drill through that door. And these units are going to get progressively harder and more numerous, the ones that are attacking your base, that is. So, as you can see, I am still pumping out all kinds of stuff over here. Just trying to keep my economy going, keep my supply count up high, keep units pumping out, and keep producing SCVs till I hit that point there. So I'm getting attacked over here, and I come close here to losing this this planetary fortress here. So I bring over some SCVs and watch how quickly they just repair this thing up. It's so awesome. And once I've got these things down, man, it's just going to make this game so much easier. Go ahead and bring these siege tanks up, because I did lose what siege tanks I did have up there because I was a noob and I saw those zealots come up there. I actually say zealot now. Thanks to you guys. You guys have improved my vocabulary. I used to say zealot all the time in all my videos, and man, people just hit me up so hard. You know, they're like, man, it's zealot, it's not zealot. You know, and it was such a bad habit of mine. I always said zealot instead of zealot. So actually, I now say zealot. It's I don't even have to think about it. You know, I don't try to pronounce it correctly or anything. You know, I have broken that habit thanks to you guys. So thank you for all that awesome words of encouragement here. Now you are periodically going to get attacked by these air forces. This first one isn't too bad. If you do notice like a void ray or a carrier or something that's actually doing some damage to you, just go ahead and use your Draken laser. Your Draken laser. Yeah. That sounds cool. I like that. Draken laser. My Draken laser. Yeah, I need one of those. But go ahead and use that to take down any kind of menacing little air units. I think I use it on here. Maybe. I don't know. Bring over my infantry guys to take him out. And after the first wave, you're going to want to start producing your missile turrets around the base. A lot of people like to throw tanks up there where I just put that last missile turret. But that's not a good place to put your tanks. As you'll see later on, they get kind of destroyed pretty easily. Especially by those tougher units at the end there. So I like to throw some missile turrets up there because that's one of the places where you get really heavily attacked by not just air units, but strong air units like the carriers and the void rays and stuff. So whenever you get money, keep pumping out those tanks, you know. But once you got the planetary fortress, man, that's all you're really going to need. You might want to pump out some more units, ground units and stuff, because you can kind of react to any kind of breach in your defenses here, and you can kind of support like something if it's not looking too good. You got your guys on hotkey 1 to go through there and kind of assist you here. Again, you know, every time you see these little dings on your map here, that means the enemies are about to attack. And so just go ahead and try to like focus fire down these Immortals, and it's really going to turn the battle for you. And I do believe, don't quote me on this, I do believe the south side, at least for me, in all my games I've played, gets attacked a whole lot more than the north side. So you might want to place some more siege tanks down there. As you can see, I'm even pulling my siege tanks from the other side down to this side, at least temporarily, to kind of defend against it. Oh man, look at that planetary fortress, man. Look, it just takes so much damage. And the nice thing about it, in relation to bunkers, is my SCVs can sit on the side and they're not going to take the splash damage from like Archons and other units. They're not going to attack my SCVs, so I don't have to worry about replacing those SCVs on that planetary fortress. They can just sit there and heal it all freaking day. And sometimes 2 isn't enough depending on how many you're getting. I like 3, maybe 4 SCVs per, unless you get like that double repair rate. I don't think you can actually get that though by this mission. I don't think so. Anyways, keep pumping out these Marines. I think eventually I'm going to pop down another barrack so I can start pumping out some more medics, because medics are pretty cool, especially when you get a lot of Marines. Yeah, see, there you go. And go ahead and bring my tank on up here and position him in the right position. And I did move my tanks down to this side, so I'll take a couple of those guys and bring them up here to the north. But yeah, I think these tanks definitely, and this planetary fortress, definitely rocks, man. It makes this mission so much easier than trying to use bunkers. The bunkers are just horrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and, sheesh, since I got this on the lockdown, man, these all these tanks and everything, I'm not gonna have a problem expanding. So let's go ahead and expand down here so I can kind of get some more income and produce more tanks quickly. As you can see, I am already upgrading those tanks, and I do upgrade my weapons first, since I picked that research where when you upgrade your weapons, it increases the speed attack that you attack it by like 5%. So always upgrade your weapons first if you got that. If you went for the health one, then I guess upgrading your defense, your armors and stuff would be better in that case. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that upgrade works for tanks. Does it increase the speed of tanks if you upgrade the tank's attack by 5%? That'd be awesome. I think it might. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. Post a comment down there, and I'll thumbs it up so everybody else can see and get a good answer to that question, because I'm not terribly sure, and I don't like saying things unless I'm sure. But always use shift, man. I use shift so much when I am when I'm ordering my units to do things, because you can queue up multiple things and it saves so much time rather than pushing a tank to the side and then waiting for him to get there and then hitting the siege button. That wastes, like, I don't know, like 5 seconds while you wait for that tank to go all the way across the screen and siege up. And that's such a waste of time. That 5 seconds you could be using to like do something else in your base. But if you hit shift, right click, and then siege, and then let go of shift, he's just going to do that, and you don't have to watch him do that. And it saves you so much time. Do that when you're building stuff. If you want to build 2 supply depots, tell your SCV, hey, build supply depot, hold shift, and then click as many as you want to build, and he'll build them in that order. You don't have to sit there and build one individually. And then before you tell him to finish, tell him right click back to the mineral, so when he